So the fourth one is called a dynamic slotting production scenario. So what it basically means is, now one of the things that if you are running a production unit, one of the things that uh, you have as a goal is that you want to sweat your assets, right? So you want to have high productivity, you want to run those lines because you don't want to have idle capacity. Now the thing is, what do you do with them and what is the best usage of those? So many times have idle capacity, and then you might want to use them, identify and use them for pre-building seasonal demand, for you know shape your demand a little bit where there is a possibility to prioritize certain demands and also deprioritize or delay certain demands depending on um, the sales guidance, right, or the inventory guidance. So those are possibilities, right? Now, many times what we do when we are trying to kind of slot things in production is not to look at the impact on materials and storage. So that is a very basic thing to look at, that it's not just about your production capacity, but if you produce it, would you be able to store it? Would you be able to make it in the first place if you have raw materials for it? So the dynamic slotting is not just about slotting into certain open production capacities, but also to link them with the dependent capacities of storage and raw materials. So I think by now you might have already understood you've gotten the drift. So the solution is this: that you want the system to identify free slots, right, over the weeks, and then you might want the system to suggest, or you might want to use those slots, identify them to pre-produce material that have stable demands. Like we talked about running products, you know that they will get sold, they may not have perishability. You may have a good hunch that uh, if you are building them ahead of time, you'll still be seeing them move. So you go use that, you slot them into the free capacity and then run them, right? And then you can also delay certain demands to level load production if it is possible, right? So you can actually take care of the peaks and the troughs and level load, because the system is actually telling you, giving you a picture of the free slots. So what it helps you achieve is, you don't want to get into frequent changeovers to accommodate running stocks, because you know that you can constantly make them based on wherever you have capacities, which takes care of your running stock, make to stock type of configurations, and you're also taking care of your asset sweating, right? So you're taking care of both. Then you're looking at, you can pre-build stock for seasonal materials. You know that certain things will start selling more in summer, and you start building it out a few months in advance, and you make arrangements from a resource and storage perspective also, to take care of available capacities. You can also build, for the more discrete manufacturing, or where you can actually have assemblies, right? You can also make work in progress inventories using free capacities that can be customized later using, a Kanban technique, or there could be parts that actually fit into multiple other components. So they can generic ones. You can keep building them using free capacity and then pull them into the demands when you have that work order. So this all can happen if you are doing a dynamic slotting scenario. Um, the example of this one is here. Like for example, we are looking at a particular product in a particular plant in a particular week. We are looking at what is your capacity, and what is the allocation. And you actually see this. The important thing is that you have a slotting pool, you have a lot size restriction, and it's actually telling you the load on the lines, right? And it's telling you where you might have free capacity. So in this example, you're trying to move your demand or shape your demand a bit if possible to level load, right? So that's the example that you have here. So similarly, the other examples or scenarios that I mentioned is possible because you're able to have a visibility to how your line looks like, and what's the load on the line, and what's the demand on the product, and can it be moved because of different reasons. Can you pre-build it? Can you delay the build? That sort of a discussion is possible.